Halloween
Forever.
Hey, how's it going there? Hey, how's it going, everybody? Got one for you, Steven. Are you ready? Okay. So this kid, right? He's going out trick-or-treating, decides he's going to dress up like a pirate, as one does, right? Goes to the very first house, rings the doorbell. Old lady comes to the door. She says, "My, what a big buccaneer." The kid goes, "Oh, yeah? Well, you got a big fucking head, lady."
I think the only reason that was funny was because of your inflection there.
Boils and ghouls to a very spooky Halloween minisode of Halloween is Forever. I'm Brian.
I'm Steve, and I'm wondering if there's more to that joke, like a setup to the fact that the kid has big ears.
Yeah, that's the joke.
Yeah, I know the joke is that he has big ears, but like, is it like, I don't know, maybe you would tell the joke as like a young Ross Perot dressed up as a pirate. And then
no, in this case, you want to hear a topical one I heard the other day, which I did laugh out loud at, and it's just about as topical as Ross Perot, because the boils and ghouls at home, they don't know who Ross Perot is.
No.
All right, ready? I remember last year I had a pretty unique costume, come to my door. A trick-or-treater came, and one of them had a Gloria Gaynor mask on.
Okay.
It's pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, at first I was scared.
Now
that is just about the reaction you get from a Ross Perot joke, Steven.
No.
Leave the joking to me, big guy. I got the jokes.
I know the Ross Perot would get a 0. Like, that would just be a flat face. Like, I don't know who that is. Like, at least Gloria Gaynor, some people will recognize, the song. But, yeah. Anyway, it's all terrible. It's all shit. Moving on.
It is bad. Hey, by the way, what's not bad, some of yin's long-time listenees might have heard a familiar voice in the background. It's our old pal. It's the Boghag herself. It's the horse girl. The horse girl rides again, boils and ghouls. We got Meg with us. Welcome.
What up? Coming from the Connecticut sound. I'm now the sea hag, It's very mystical and crazy up here.
Yeah. You've graduated from the bog to the sea.
Yeah, it's all just relative.
Well, it's interesting because I do know a little bit about bogs. And I know that the idea of a bog versus a swamp, like a bog, doesn't have something to do with like the soil or something under a bog. Is like you don't decompose if you fall into the bog. There's something to do with
sounds very rich.
Yeah, something to do with like, I don't know if it's like a lack of oxygen. It's like an anaerobic environment or something like that in a bog. But something about a bog, you don't actually like decompose. You just kind of like pickle. So you find a corpse at the bottom of a bog that might be 300 years old and looks like exactly the same. Don't quote me on
just
that.
Just fermenting down there.
Yeah, I just think that's how bogs work.
I actually wrote down every single bit of that. It's going into my book of From the Bog to the Sea. So that's
your
a
memoir.
great clip.
Yeah, you decompose totally different in the sea. I can say that.
I mean, it could also be like from the bog to bog and, oh, wow. Ooh, it could be a Kid Rock song. But we got the cranberry bogs up here.
From the bog to the bog, to bang to bang. We're picking up where we left off, which is only the stupidest shit in the fucking world. We are so pleased to have you here. We were inundated, Meg, with listeners saying when we broke the news that you weren't going to be on the Showdown episode, they were like, "How dare you? You pieces of shit." And we said, don't worry, Meg's going to be here during the spooky season. And tonight we get her. I'm going to try not to clear my throat 900 times, but I'm hacking up some bog sludge. we get Meg all to ourselves, and we are going to be talking about a fun new Halloween anthology that just came out, just dropped on the Shudder recently. We're talking about VHS Halloween from the year of our Lord 20 and 25. But of course, we got some things we got to do at the top of the show before that. Slurping on any brewskis? I know I've seen you both slurping on them. What do you got?
Go ahead, Meg.
Yeah, I just decided to go with the classics. I haven't had any Sam Adams Oktoberfest. So, I guess it's a little late to the game this year, but I saw it and I had to have it. So I got it.
Yeah. Well, I've been just slurping my way through that variety pack this year because it got the Jacko, which I know you're a fan of as well. And then it's got a nice little Dunkel in there. And then what's the other thing? Oh, there was a Helles too. That was pretty nice. Yeah, tasty stuff. Steve, what are you sipping on?
Time to make Meg mad.
Uh-oh.
This is like a different type of punishment this year, apparently.
Well, hey, it's like it feels kind of like a tradition. Meg comes on, we do a VHS Halloween, we do a VHS movie of the year, and then I also bring up bad memories for Meg by drinking some awful Gloop Glop. And this year, there's a new variant on awful Gloop Glop to bring up.
Oh God, it's even, this is more like just triggering at this point. Connor, my partner, every single time we see any of the pumpkin, any Southern Tier that's just their Gloop Glop, he's just like, oh hey, yeah, you want to get some? I'm like, absolutely not. No, the smells still haunt my memories.
But you see, Meg, this is new and different, so I don't know that you would have the exact same response to it. But also, you may have a more you might have a more violent response. This is for the 2025 year, the Maple Warlock Imperial Pumpkin Stout, coming in at 8.6%, and boy, does it just stink like fake maple syrup. So like this is double. I think this might be doubly offensive to you now that you live up in the New England area, and they do love to make their maple.
Yeah, we got our maple syrup up here.
You get the real stuff up there. This is just It smells like those kind of maple cookies that you would get from places, like the kind of cream filling. Like they're
oh yeah.
They're like the knockoff Oreos.
Not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're like knockoff Oreos. Like they come in a maple leaf shape, and then they have maple cream in between, and it just smells like that. Yeah, I
don't want to know where that cream came from.
Yeah, the science.
Deep inside the trees. Now that you're a New Englander, are you a maple syrup snob now?
Personally, no, but in my house, only real maple syrup. My partner grew up in Vermont, so whenever we go to the store, and I'm like going for something cheaper or maybe something without quote unquote like like a fake healthy version. He's like nope. He's wagging his finger immediately at me. So actually, sometimes slapping my hand.
Yeah, I have in recent years become a little bit of a maple syrup snob. I am forced to, and I prefer a waffle, and I'll say that straight up. And I don't care who I make mad. I prefer a waffle over a pancake. Come at me, pancake people. But my kids like a pancake. So oftentimes on a Sunday morning, we get up and we're hanging out at home, and I make a little pancake action, and I say, all right, well, you little ruffians, don't prefer a waffle, but you're gonna get the real maple syrup. None of this Mrs. Butterworth shit. Interesting story. I'm sure everybody was really interested in my. I'm currently focusing so hard on not coughing. See what I'm doing. I have a heck of a fun cold the last couple of days. You could probably hear it in my voice. and I am just desperately trying to not hack into the microphone. Even if I mute it, I'm going to blow Steve's eardrums out when he's editing this later. Let me take a little swiggy.
But
here.
I will say with a waffle though, there's more versatility to it. So like that's the leg up.
More texture. There's more everything. A waffle is.
You can do savory. Like, I mean, I love savory waffles too. So
wildly superior to pancakes. And they even do. They want chocolate chips in their pancakes. And I'm like, that you're just being a Philistine now. That's disgusting. That's just sweet on sweet on sweet. I like a blueberry pancake. Or even a sour cream pancake. Have you had that? A little tanginess to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be down.
See, I am a pancake guy, and I will do. I'll occasionally do like a chocolate chip pancake, but if I'm doing chocolate chip pancake, I don't do it with syrup. I just do it with butter. But the waffle is far superior for its ability to, put the butter and the syrup into little pockets all throughout.
Yeah.
So
100%. You get these built-in little crags in there. Again, I'll die on this hill all day. All right.
Chicken and waffles, absolutely.
Yeah, Dan in the chat points out chicken and waffles, number one.
Yeah, I love it. Here's kind of, I love a fried chicken, and I love a waffle, and I love them together. But I don't necessarily feel that that combination is greater than just the sum of the parts. I think it's good because it's chicken and waffles, but I oftentimes find myself thinking, well, this is some good chicken I'm having, and I'm also dealing with a waffle. I don't know. Maybe I haven't got a good version of it. All right. The beer that I am drinking on is from our good pals over at Hitchhiker Brewing here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is our pumpkin ale, and it's called Throwback.
Ooh.
And it's just a straight up old school pumpkin ale. Let me see if it calls out the ingredients in here. No, it doesn't, because it's just literal pumpkin ale shit. It's 6.6%. I'm going to assume it's 6.66%. It's just cinnamon, nutmeg, clove. I don't know what else. Probably a little, I don't know if I could get allspice. Just kind of cinnamon, nutmeg, clove kind of thing. Old school, amber colored pumpkin beer.
Nice.
So I'm digging on
I
it.
think it could also be called like Throw Down, because instantly when you said Throw Back and then it was a pumpkin beer, I thought I was like, oh man, just want to like a good promo video of like smashing it on the ground like you smash pumpkins after Halloween, I see it. Let's fucking go. Come on, Andy, get on it.
All right, guys, perhaps you were here last week and you heard our Halloween Wheeloween showdown, where we had our good buddy Bigfoot Ben, aka Big Ween Ben, aka Big Top Ben. We also had our old buddy Halloween on as well, and we had a big old fashioned fucking slobber knocker. We are going to, now, spoiler alert, fast forward 30 seconds here if you don't want to know who won that showdown. But it was Big Ween Ben. Took it down, and he put a nasty little punishment episode in our lap. But we're going to do that next week on account of we got Meg here to talk about VHS Halloween. So hold tight.
Can I pull back the curtain for a second?
Yeah, please.
So when we were talking about me coming in the episode, and I was like, okay, since I'm not going to be on the showdown, like I'll do the punishment. And then I heard the movie. I didn't listen to the episode purposely. I'm like, who would choose this movie? Because also Connor and I watched the movie that you guys will be covering. And then a day later, Steve's like, we're doing this. But anywho, yeah, that's a little bit surprising. I honestly put it at one of you two to have chosen the movie.
You thought it was one of us?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet, so.
Neither have I. I was vaguely aware of the movie, but I don't think I've never seen it, so it wasn't on my, to punish list. But yeah, I guess Ben found it somehow and watched it, and, more behind the scenes stuff is like, we have Meg for this week. We didn't have Ben for this week. So I said, okay, I guess that makes sense, but let's hold Ben's movie till next week. And so we'll do the tradition of the VHS movie.
I'll look forward to you guys destroying it.
What was it again? I'm blanking on what Ben's
Blades.
Everyone's screw
Blades.
Oh yes, blades. Not Blade.
Nope.
Not a ninja vampire starring one Mr. Wesley Snipes. This is Blades. And I believe it has a lot to do with people being murdered on a golf course
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey. I mean, I didn't know that for sure. I didn't know that, but I assumed it was happening in New Jersey.
It's in New Jersey.
So yeah, tune in next week where we have Big Ween Ben on once again, and we talk about his punishment movie Blades. Okay. Let's get into this one.
Ooh,
actually, Steve, do you want to tell real quick?
Nope.
Oh, go ahead.
Gotta spin the wheel, bud.
It's
wheel
we gotta
time.
spin that son of a bitchin' wheel.
It's wheel time.
Already. It's already wheel time. All right, let's spin that regular wheel for our November showdown topic. This is exciting. Bringing up the old streaming wheel here. This is the regular old wheel. As we bring that up, guys, we spin this thing every damn month, perhaps with the exception of Halloween month, when we do the Wheel of Ween, which is a different wheel, and during Christmas, where we do Secret Satan and things like that. But we got this wheel. It's got a bajillion different topics on it. We're going to spin it 3 times. We're going to hit 3 different topics. They could be, performers, subgenres, tropes. They could be whatever. We'll put those out on social medias. Follow us at Halloween is Forever on all the things. You can vote on which one you want. Once we have a topic, then me, Steve, and our guest will pick a movie associated with that topic. And then the first Monday of every month, we'll do that dang showdown, and somebody's going to get put in the old torture rack. Somebody's going to get jackknife power bombed onto a table, and ultimately somebody's going to take home that son of a bitch championship strap for the month. Okay, Steve, give that son of a bitch and wheel a spin.
Here go the first one, and it is Mall Madness.
Ooh. Mall Madness. So we're talking about any flick that's set in or heavily features a mall. I like that. I think I might have added that to the wheel.
Yes, you did. It's definitely
all right.
That was a U.
All right. Second one, feature length anime.
Ooh.
I like that.
Now I know you'd been posting on the Instagrams. You're on the Grum.
I've been doing watching all types of weird, dirty, sexy, mean animes.
But you posted one of my favorites, one of the ones I saw very early, like back in the 90s. I think I've talked about this before, about how, like, for some reason, Cinemax in the 90s used to run anime on like Saturday nights at like midnight or whatever. And so, I'd seen like Ninja Scroll and Galaxy Express 999, but the one you posted was Wicked City. And boy, is that fucking movie wild for a young pre-teenage brain to see.
Yeah, like you're getting horny, but then the lady turns into a spider and you're like, oh no, I'm still horny, but I'm scared now.
My penis is weird.
It's mixing the sex and the violence. All right, yes, that movie is fucking fantastic. All right, feature length anime. All right, last one.
Spinning the wheel. Ooh.
Last one is...
That's a good one.
Whoa, okay, nice. This is not one I've seen on here before. I don't know if it's new or not, but it's Kane Hodder movies, but non-Jason.
Yes, I think this is a listener suggestion from our listener Shiggles. She sent me like a huge list of things to add, and I think this is one of them.
Nice.
If it's not hers, I think I adapted it from one of hers. But yeah, yeah, non-Jason Kane Hodder films.
Yeah. I like that a lot. So we can go, obviously quite a repertoire, but we're talking non-Jason. So just as a little recap, this week, check out the social medias. If you want to come over and vote via the Discord, if you are a patron as well, you get an extra vote. But make sure you vote this week on either Mall Madness feature-length anime or non-Jason Kane Hodder films. So all kind of fun stuff. Steve, why don't you, real quick, speaking of Patreon, tell the boils and ghouls what kind of wacky shit's going on over there.
Yeah. So you jump on to patreon.com/HalloweenIsForever. All one word. Spell it out. Get on that website. And then you give us $5. The good money. The money that goes in our pockets.
Give us your dollars. Give us your money dollars.
Give them. What we want is you to jump on there, enjoy all the things that we provide beyond this one episode, this one podcast. You get this weekly, of course, but you get so much more on the Patreon. You get reviews and recos of all kinds of movies, horror and non-horror. Right now, you get something special called the 31 Days of Horror, where every day I have a brand new post about a horror movie of some sort from all over the world, all types and times. I just posted one about a short, horror film from Czechoslovakia. We were talking about you guys drinking in the Czech Republic. I posted a film that's Soviet era Czechoslovakian, and it's by an animator who is a direct inspiration for Phil Tippett and the film Mad God. So you get to read about that. I also posted like a whole big write-up about Cannibal Mukbang, a film that came out earlier this year. So it's a gamut of things on there. Yeah. But you get all that.
Highly influential.
Yeah.
And by highly influential, I mean Cannibal Mukbang.
So, it's a whole gamut of things on there. But you get all that. And on top of it all, you get a monthly exclusive podcast. And right now we're in the middle of doing 90s is Forever, which is where we take comedies from the 90s that are forgotten and lost media. We rewatch them with our 2025 eyes, and then we make fun of how stupid and bad and unfunny and made on cocaine all of these films are. And they usually they all have a horror connection. Many of the films star horror stars in comedic roles. Like we watched one with Paul Walker that features Robert Englund as a bad guy henchman.
Yeah. And he's honestly the best part of the movie.
Yep.
Between him and Dennis Hopper. Yep. Best part of the movie. These movies, I would suggest, as I suggest with when we did the series on what we called it Youth Group is Forever, where you watch weird fucking psychotic right-wing Christian propaganda horror movies, and then we watched all the Fast and the Furious movies before that. It was Families Forever. I would urge you, don't watch these movies. If you want to, if you're morbidly curious, feel free. Don't pay for them, steal them for sure. But also probably just don't watch them. These ones, I don't necessarily have any ill will towards the filmmaker, so maybe you can buy them fair and square. But all the right-wing Christian propaganda ones, steal them for sure. All of the Fast and the Furious movies, if you can, steal those for sure. Those motherfuckers got too much money. But it's usually fun to hear us talk about how fucking batshit these movies are. We just did Theodore Rex, where Whoopi Goldberg was sued into participating.
Yes.
So she is very mad she's on set the entire time, and it is hilarious. And then also a bunch of big animatronic dinosaur costumes, a la the 90s sitcom Dinosaurs. It's bonkers. Somebody just out of spite got shots of dinosaur, and I still haven't got over it. And it also give us your paper monies.
Yeah, and it also features puppetry from the Kyoto brothers of the Killer Clowns in space, from outer space fame. So it has a lot of things going on. It's
a real Easter egg that we'll talk about. But you get all those episodes in the backlogs and all those fun things. So go over patreon.com/HalloweenIsForever. Give us your $5. It's easy. It's only $5, and then you'll forget about it and give us forever. All right. Anything else before we jump into this son of a bitchin' movie?
No. I think that's about it.
Okay. Because this is a anthology as we talked about. Steve, you might have it up in front of you. I don't, because I'm an ill-prepared doofus. Do you have the list of the directors up in front of you? Because I have them, but I don't have them tied to which movies there are.
So I have,
or which vignettes there are.
Yeah, I have some of them memorized, but I don't have the whole thing in my face at the moment. I'll get it in a second. But I'll tell you, one of my favorite ones is the short on the candy factory. And that was directed by Casper Kelly.
Fun Size?
Yeah, Fun Size. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was directed by Casper Kelly, and he is known for doing all of the Adult Swim Yule Log horror films that are up there. He did Too Many Cooks, the short. And then he also wrote the Cheddar Goblin sequence for Mandy. So that's where you'll know him from.
And if you watch Your Pretty Faces Going to Hell, too. He was, I think, I did that.
Yeah. So the other director I'm very familiar with is Paco Plaza. And he did the segment Ut Supra Sic Infra. And that is the...
Say it 3 more times.
No, you get in trouble. But he's the director that's mostly associated with the Wreck series. So that the found footage zombie franchise from Spain that turned into Quarantine when it got remade in America.
Yep. I just watched Wreck recently, actually.
We just I saw that he also did Veronica, and I didn't realize that until putting it all together today when I was getting my notes together. But Veronica was pretty solid too. We watched that recently. If you guys haven't seen that one.
No.
Veronica,
no.
As in Glenn Danzig's Veronica?
No, not Glenn Danzig's Veronica. Just regular Veronica.
Yeah.
Okay. I got scared because I heard you say Veronica, and then a couple minutes later, or a couple times later, I thought I heard you say Veronica, and
it just slips
I got
in these
scared.
days, you know? It's a core memory now.
It would have been really funny though, just to nonchalantly been like, have you guys seen Veronica? That movie's really awesome. It's a pretty cool movie. Because it's really fucking not.
I just remember you guys for 20 minutes doing Glenn Danzig impressions, and that is a core memory, actually.
It's Gary Marshall as Glenn Danzig is essentially what it ends up being.
Yeah.
Some of the other directors involved in this, I think, aside from the 2 I mentioned, the other directors involved in this are actually all pretty new, and this is a jumping off point for a lot of them. So the director of that Kid Print series is Alex Ross Perry. He hasn't done a whole lot outside of music videos. So he's done music videos for Ghost and Maya Hawke and Sleigh Bells, but I don't think he has anything else more than shorts to his name. I think he might have a couple features in his past.
Yeah, that Her Smell had Elizabeth Moth and stuff like that, but
yeah, he's got a couple other things. Queen of Earth from 2015, but nothing that I am familiar with.
And then Michelle Pitt is the director of The Home Haunt, the ending sequence. Micheline Pitt, sorry. She directs it with R.H. Norman. And the 2 of them also are pretty short on directing credits. They both share a short previous to this called Grummy. And other than that, they haven't really directed much. Grummy looks kind of interesting. It seems like it's a horror film that is based on a kid who has an imaginary friend.
Yeah. I think I've seen this now that I'm looking at some of the screenshots. I think I did watch this. I don't know, either this or something very similar, but it seems to be well received.
Yeah. So I mean, you can imagine you do one short and everybody likes it, and then hey, here's a chance to showcase it on the big Shudder platform. Do another one for us. And See, they seem kind of similar in tone as well, because that ending, the ending short film is very funny in its production, but not funny in its content. So yeah.
Yeah, this I have come to really, really enjoy and look forward to these VHS anthologies. I think I've liked almost everyone they've ever done, and God damn it, they better do a Christmas one. That's all
would be
I
a
care
great
about.
idea.
Is I need VHS Christmas so much.
You know what I really want to see from this series at some point is the guys from That's a Bad Idea, just putting it out into the universe. They're the ones who did that Milk and Cereal.
Oh yeah,
And then they do all this stuff on like social media and stuff. They're absolutely hilarious. I think they would do really well on this platform.
And also horror minded as well, right? What's the name? What's the name of that the guy who directed the Milk and Cereal?
One of them it's like Connor something. I could look it up.
The blonde kid. He's really a good fucking actor too.
Curry Parker.
Curry Parker.
I actually caught him on an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia in my rewatch a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I was just like,
oh, really?
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about that when we did the episode on Milk and Cereal. We were talking about he was on Always Sunny and he's been on a couple things, but mostly people would just really know him for building that online presence of doing horror shorts on his own. And then Milk and Cereal.
They do such a good job making things uncomfortable. It's just so great.
And I think they have a new one coming out this year sometime called Obsession. So,
ooh,
yeah,
he has nailed that Tim Robinson face of I'm so let me try to do it. Shocked, but not actually shocked. You know what I mean? Like pretending to be shocked face.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's really talented dude. All right, let's jump into some of the vignettes, but first, I guess we'll talk about the wraparound because, especially in the recent ones, I think they've had some really fun wraparounds. There were some early on that felt very forced and were trying to be very kind of self-serious, I think. And in the most recent ones, they've just kind of made them silly, wacky, gory. Yeah. And this one is absolutely that. It's called Diet Phantasma, which it's this lab test environment. It's this US company that came to the UK and they're talking about the spooktacular taste of Diet Phantasma. They've got this soda that they're testing on people, and it's essentially a fucking demonic haunted soda. And Steve and I had the same idea 3 years ago, but with a beer.
Yeah.
So similar to this idea.
That's so funny.
Yeah. In any case, so we get essentially this dickhead guy named Rothschild. He's the American who's kind of running the show. He's got his lab techs, and it's that classic imagine the scene from Pineapple Express where Bill Hader's sitting in there smoking weed and they're watching him through the glass. It's that, except for they're making these test subjects drink this demonic or haunted or whatever soda, and then wild shit happens to them and he gets pissed. That's what happens every time.
They're making them drink the goo from Prince of Darkness with added caffeine is what it is.
That's funny that you mentioned that because I was just thinking the practical effects in the beginning. I was getting very John Carpenter, The Thing-ish. So it's all same universe for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's definitely and they're half of the gags are, we dosed it wrong.
Right.
We put too much of the goo or not enough of the goo, and wild shit happens as a result. So
I had two notes of this that I was first, I when I was watching it, I put a note saying soda of the beast. That could just be a tagline for it. And then I think what could make it better is if somehow ICP was involved and this was just a Faygo version, a version of Faygo. I think that would have taken to the next level. But yeah.
Faygo, and I maintain this, has not fully embraced the Juggalo culture.
No.
Enough.
Maybe there's just too much it's ICP can claim that they only drink Faygo, but Faygo cannot say anything about ICP without a cease and desist.
Well, no, I imagine they would love it.
They would. I mean, yeah.
Is there a special edition ICP Faygo that I'm not aware of, Steve?
I don't think so. I think But I am willing to bet that I believe Faygo does sponsorships and like even donates soda to the gathering of the Juggalos.
I'm sure they do. It's one of those things where they're like, hey, we love that you love our product, but we are going to keep you at arm's length.
Oh, for sure.
Because because you guys seem to be fun and wacky, but also you like throw shit at each other and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's
you're kind of garbage. Your fans are a lot of drunk,
unsavory
a lot of boofing going on.
characters.
Yes. There's a lot of boofing. A lot of your fans are fucking garbage. And, we're just not trying to cultivate that as a corporate identity. Like, you're great and we love you. Keep buying the product. And we're not going to say anything bad about you. We're not going to disavow you, but also you will never be on the bottle or the can.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. We're going to play this a little safe. This one is, pretty much the same thing happens, and it's the wraparound. So we get 2 or 3 minutes of it in between, actual sections, actual kind of vignettes. So at one point, like the can has tentacles coming out of it, like you said, very, very The Thing, like the little wispy flicking around tentacles, kind of like what pops out of the dogs early on, and basically becomes like a face hugger on one of the test subjects. It melts a couple people's faces. Someone gets degloved, which is just chaotic. A kid gets exploded. This entire thing, if there's one through line, and you would say, Brian, well, of course, it's Halloween. That's the through line of VHS Halloween. Yes, but I would say a better top name for this would be VHS
Dead Kids.
Kids getting killed.
Kid go boom, real fast.
More young children get killed in this movie than, I don't know, perhaps any other movie I've ever seen.
There's only one other film I can think of that has killed so many kids on screen in violent ways, and it's a fucking Uwe Boll movie called Postal. There's a scene in Postal.
Yeah, I remember us talking about that.
Yeah, there's a scene in Postal where there was a big gun shootout, and like a bunch of kids just get killed. There's a great GIF hidden somewhere on the depths of the internet where somebody re-edited that movie with Steven Seagal, and so it's just it looks like Steven Seagal is just shooting kids down in the street.
Yeah.
If you didn't tell me that and I watched it, I probably would have not questioned a single thing.
You just assumed that was a Steven Seagal movie, or you assumed Steven Seagal actually did that in real life?
Both for sure.
Yeah, both. There's so many kids get horrible, violent things done to them in this movie, and we'll talk about them. A kid gets exploded. People are getting their tongues and their scalps ripped off. There's a lot of blood barfing.
A lot, yeah.
But you get the idea.
That also seems kind of par for the course for VHS at time, though. There were certain things when that happened. Often I was like, oh yeah, that's VHS.
Yeah,
it's like a through
blood
line.
Barfing is no secret that they love the blood barfing. The ultimate ending I'm a little confused about, but I don't really care, because who fucking cares? Like it's a demonic soda wraparound, but ultimately they land on just the right dosage apparently, and there's a little girl, let's say she's 8 years old, and she becomes soda demon, and her eyes turn white, and then for some reason that's what Rothschild wants. Like we did it. Pack it up. Yeah,
but she was the only one out of the 6 at the time that were drinking that dose that survived. They're like, no, good, send it, let's fucking go.
Yeah. Well, and then at the end, they put her in a commercial, because during the credits, we get a quick commercial for Diet Phantasma, and she's like the spokeschild for it. And I'm just not sure what the end game was. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but the end game was just getting a loyal customer, which she is. They asked her, did you drink the soda? And she says yes. And then they asked her, like, can you come to the glass? And then she does. And they're like, oh, okay. So she's responsive to commands. And then they ask her, what's your favorite soda? And she says, Diet Phantasma. They're like, oh, great. We have a loyal customer now. put,
Sure.
I want to know what the regular Phantasma tastes like.
I don't know. It's probably full of calories. That's the problem.
It's that,
but not demons. But not demons.
Yeah, it's that, but it also gives you diabetes.
Right.
You get the betas. Yeah, interesting that a lot of money to spend here. Obviously, they can just have tons of just corpses piling up at their testing facility, and they have the money to cover all that up.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't have the money to do a full printed can. They do wrap.
Yeah.
They have the same canning line that the place with the 10-barrel beer system down the street has. As a brewer, that just I don't know, that rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like you guys would have sprung for the printed cans.
Being stingy.
But yeah. Anyway,
I had one more note about Dr. Rothschild. So we've been doing a watch of X-Files because I've actually never seen it, but he was given hella Cigarette Man vibes because there's just like chaos going, and all of a sudden he's lighting up a cigarette. I was like, oh.
Yeah, just everything goes to shit, and he goes and sits down for a smoke, and he's like, ship the product. Yeah. It's perfect. We got it. We nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's constantly yelling at all the like British,
fuck you, Larry.
They like, shut the fuck up, dude. He's just always screaming at them, cussing them out. Yeah,
I
great
also,
character,
Brian, I have a question for you though with this skit. And honestly, just came to me was like you as like a sensory guy. Everyone's like, smells like shit. Man, it tastes amazing. That didn't really line up for me though. I was like,
yeah, that's true. But I will say there are some, I always use
Limburger
the example
cheese,
of like, yeah, sure. Or like Tilkin, like all the Tilkin Goose products. First smell to me, it smells
Basement.
like burnt out tube television. Yeah. Or I get this like plasticky, ozony thing.
Yeah.
And then after the first sip, I get acclimated to it and I'm like, oh, this is yummy. So maybe it's a spontaneously fermented diet soda. I don't know. I assume they're smelling the Prince of Darkness goo, like Steve said, but that stuff don't smell good. Because then they just remember when they piss it in that guy's mouth, he freaks out.
Are ghosts shelf stable? Like, how do they obviously can't pasteurize?
Does ghosts stink?
You can't pasteurize it at all. You're not allowed.
Because it would kill them.
You kill them.
Yeah. Oh, no. Temperature doesn't kill ghosts.
Maybe. You don't know.
You can't pasteurize a ghost.
But they always say you feel cold when you see a ghost. Like, they definitely need cooler temperatures.
If there's anything that's shelf stable, it's a ghost. Like, ghosts actually, I feel like, will make anything shelf stable.
Oh, they're a preservative on their own.
What would make a ghost not shelf stable?
They're always
I feel
cold.
Like they're always trying to figure out, like, move on. They what you like talk to the soda ghost and you're just like, hey, yeah, I'm going to take you to go see, your long lost brother that you need to reconnect with or something like that. You're like, oh, now the ghost is fine. Now the ghost is just like gone, and that makes it not shelf stable, or maybe not just stable.
I mean, that's operating under the assumption of like, it's the ghost that has the unfinished business.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ghost.
No Casper ghost here.
That you go on those dumb shows where like that dude always wants to fist fight ghosts.
Yeah.
What is it called? Like,
I don't know.
Ghost Hunters.
Zach Baggins' Ghost Fist Fight Hour.
yeah. And like anytime one of those shows, anytime they walk through a ghost or a ghost is nearby, they're like, oh my God, it's so cold. It just dropped to, freezing temperatures. So ghosts are cold.
Yeah.
They're frozen.
Yeah. See, I think
that's why they're shelf stable.
I think that's where this wraparound may have dropped the ball a bit, in that we didn't get more of the marketing. We should have seen more marketing about how the soda is always cold, and then you see a commercial of like somebody walking up to the can and is like, oh, it's so cold in here. And it's like, that's because I got Phantasma, and then like
coldest soda in the West.
Yeah. And then like somebody's sitting in their chair and they're like, I'm all out of Phantasma, and then it flies off the shelf and right into their hand, because it really does that.
Oh my God, so good.
Yeah. I know how to sell ghost soda, fuckers.
If there's anybody I know who I would trust to sell ghost soda, it's Steve. And that's a big compliment. All right. Let's get into the first vignette here. This one's, they come out of the gate swinging on one called Coochie Coochie Coo.
That's what makes me want to do.
So
just shake my shoulders.
Just do a little shoulder shimmy.
Yeah.
They have, so you got these two friends, right? And they're getting baked in their car. And they're talking about this is going to be their last Halloween before they go off to college and blah, 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 whatever. These kids come up to their windows, start fucking with them. And they're talking about mommy's going to get you. And you're like, okay, so there's a little foreshadowing. There's going to be some sort of creature, monster, whatever, called mommy. They decide to go trick or treating. They're dressed as babies. They got that like creepy baby mask.
Always freaks me out. Still to this day, those things freak me out.
They are creepy. They're creepy as fuck. They got like the onesies on, and they're just basically running around being dildos, just like fucking with people's shit, stealing, candy and, breaking stuff and just acting like
twerking
psychos.
On ghosts, the whole nine.
Yeah. Yeah. Twerking, doing, I would say bad kid stuff, but in a not like bad kid stuff, like egging houses, just like they're just being a little rambunctious, just being a little
rascals, maybe
little rascals. That's what I was looking for. They do hear these parents talking about a girl that was their age that went missing last Halloween. They're like, oh, it was this neighborhood. They're just hanging out in the grass, eating candy, being stoned. And they see this random house off in the distance with like its lights like pulsing. And they're like, oh, we got to, let's go over there, check out what's going on. Cool scene of like the doors open. They think, hey, should we go in? They think it's like a home haunt kind of thing. And all of a sudden this like arm sticks out of the dark with a big bag of candy or a big basket of candy. And
this is where we first hear coochie coochie coo too. She's like,
yeah, we're hearing
coochie coo. So creepy.
Well, that's the thing is I couldn't tell at first if that was them doing that or if I wasn't sure.
I think it was mommy.
Yeah, I think you're right. But we have, by the way, Kaylee and Lacey are the two friends. We get this creepy lady at like the door. She was the one with the basket of candy. She drops it. And then there's like a little
fetus?
Tiny big-headed baby corpse. It's not a corpse, actually. It's alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little fetus. But it's got like a big old freaky head.
It's like what you would dissect in middle school kind of corpse.
Wait, you dissected baby corpses in middle
No, but it
school?
looked like the pigs that we dissected. Like that's what it was giving that.
Yeah, they're little fucked up little baby corpses, but they're not corpses. They're fetuses, but they're still alive. They're like they're squirming around. They're all wet.
Can I pause for a second though? Yeah. This, like, the energy I was getting was like Channel Zero no end house, because we have a house that just kind of pops up. But that was like one of my things that I was like, that it kind of, I feel like they were handing it to us too quickly, or maybe it is a short. But I was like, you see the people walk by and they're like, why don't they know? Why don't they stop here? And then like, let's go. It like felt like so on the nose of like what's gonna happen. You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, someone's going to become a baby. Like from the beginning, when I saw the title of it,
Yale Girl should have put two and two together.
I see them with baby costumes, and I see the title. I'm like, these girls are going to get turned into dang old big babies. But yeah, interestingly enough, the of changing house trope, which is I'm seeing that a lot more lately. I feel like that was, I always call it's like the House of Leaves house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Shit's changing, and it's also, maybe it's infinite. And then I'm reading another book now that like is newish. And I'm like, fuck, it's a House of Leaves house is all basically what we're experiencing here.
I think part of that, and I mean, we even see a little bit of that in Fun Size as well, but I think a part of that is also not just influenced by movies, but it's influenced by a lot of video games nowadays, because there's a lot of horror games that are like first-person simulators, and like one of the more famous ones, it's called Layers of Fear, and you're basically walking, you're like this artist walking around his own house, and he gets lost, and like the geometry keeps changing repeatedly over and over. But like, it's become such a prevalent trope in games media that I think that may be coming back into film media. Like it's not influenced by, books or other, older movies. It's more influenced by like these, kind of first person.
That makes sense.
First person, walking simulator, haunted house simulators, really. The other really famous one is PT, which was like a preview of a new Silent Hill game made by.
I have watched that one like on YouTube. Yeah.
So like, a lot of games started mimicking that because PT never became a game. And then, now you just have a bunch of people doing the same thing over and over in games. But now I think it's affecting media outside of it as well.
That makes sense. Yeah, I was interested of like, why is this becoming such a bigger trope? But yeah, you're 100% right. I'm guaranteed. I mean, even like back rooms and that sort of like phenomena, kind of has those vibes, a lot of liminal space.
There was a movie that's literally just the back rooms. It's called Hostile Dimensions, and I'm pretty sure I wrote about it. But yeah, it's literally just based on like the back rooms type stuff. So yeah. Yep. Yeah, so we got a little bit of that happening. We find like a little weird nursery with some cages, a lot of milk tracks.
There's just a lot of milk track.
You've heard about a milk mustache. Now imagine milk tracks. There's a lot of that, but it just looks like white paint because that's not what milk looks like when it's on the ground. Anyway, this sequence, I will say, you can smell it. Like the entire thing, like you can visualize that this entire set smells like spoiled milk.
Sour.
And especially if you have kids and what, like, just being barfed on, like a baby after feeding spits up on you, that whole place smells like that. Yeah.
But it's layered too, because not only do we have that, but the moment they get to the poop room, I was just done. I was like,
we have a poop room. We do have a poop room. There's stuff written on the wall and poop. The house keeps changing. We get a creepy big baby, which I thought he was going to be the main baddie, but actually he's fine. He's just as scared as they are. We go into a place, there's like a baby shower decorations. Big fucking baby Huey's just biting the door jamb. Just like, I don't know why I thought that was funny. We see this like crazy like breast pump, but it looks more like something you put on a cow. It's got like 90 freaking, it's got probably 8 or 12, I don't know, like little things you would put on cow's udders. They end up finding someone who's like being force-fed milk, which was pretty gnarly and gross too. Yeah. And listen, I'm a milk guy. I'll just drink a glass of milk. I love it.
It's interesting.
But this was kind of making me want to barf a little bit. It was the amount of jars around that had like a white and yellow scum to them. Exactly.
It's the fatty scum that it is like raw milk of a type, like, and also like it's breast milk, and like again, if you were a parent, there's a decent chance you would like it separates and it has a fat phase, and you have to shake it up, and what that bottle that you left in the sink the night before looks and smells like when you come downstairs in the morning because you were too tired to clean it out the night before. Now imagine an entire house full of that in jars. Kids are gross, dog. Yeah, kids are gross, man. Kids are gross. And I wasn't even the one feeding them. I don't even have the boobies. Yeah.
I'm like, really, who needs like birth control when you have like see the site or like just the 6 head like milker for 6 saggy tits in your face, like just I don't need birth control. And I was like, I'm good. I'm like,
yeah. And there was this one section of like the backstory of the saggy boob mommy, which we come to meet here in a second. First of all, okay, so we see her, right? She looks like a damn beagle. You know, like she's got. Have you ever seen a beagle like that had puppies, maybe multiple litters, and they have
like that? But yeah,
any dog, but specifically a beagle for some reason, just got those long, saggy nipples. That's what she looks like, but also she looks like it looks like it's played by a man, which was a weird decision too. I don't know if it was or not, but it just looked like it had more male features to me. I don't know. Anyway, they find the girl from last year. She's like still dressed up in her cheerleader outfit from last year. And she's got these like, as did baby Huey, they have these big cheeks, almost looks like surgically enhanced cheeks, and then really big eyes. So they look like cartoon babies, but there's something the milk or the mommy is doing to the captive adult babies that like mess up their facial features to make them look like big cartoon babies. It's bizarre. But also I feel like I could kick that beagle lady down the stairs really easy. She does not look sturdy.
No.
But she apparently has some sort of power over them.
She's got ghost strength, you know?
Is she a ghost?
She's a
ghost.
breaking backs. I don't fucking know. Like demon, ghost, she's something.
Anyway,
she's
I would kick that bitch down the stairs so fast.
Just seeing Scary Movie, but you and her.
Yeah, it's Freddy versus Jason, but it's me and her versus her, and we're both really winded during the fight.
The way she's gonna spray milk though, like a Mortal Kombat character from kicking her. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna be.
She would actually pick up her tit and like spray it in your face, like that. You'd have to be prepared for that. She's probably got one of them that has like acid in
it. Tit.
Too. She got that one bad acid tit, but. The one thing that didn't need to be there was like there's some bogus like backstory about how like the mummy like hung herself. Maybe I don't know if it was her or if it was somebody else.
I think it was her.
Or like hung herself, you know, while she was pregnant. So now that's why she's ghost milker. I don't know. Anyway, Lacey gets just straight up bear hugged by the mummy with all her
ghost
titties.
Strength, you know. See, it's the thing.
I guess. Anyway, a melee ensues. Ultimately, they get added to the little baby gang, and then you get like an extended ending of her like saying like singing this little rhyming Freddy song, but she's like, "I'll nurse you until you regress, and I'll make sure you never die."
I wrote that same thing down. Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. And I'm like, ghosts usually don't have that, don't explain that much in their songs that they're singing. You know what I mean? I don't know.
She's had a long time to write it, and she's still workshopping it.
She is workshopping. And also she just like laughs for a long time.
Did you guys like it?
So she really,
like, that's what she says at the end. And all the kids have to say yes.
Was that good? It was fine. The whole, it was
wild.
Say you like
it.
Was, yeah. It was big, crazy swings. Yeah, it was fun. The ending, you know, I mean, how do you wrap something like that up? You know what I mean?
I think my one note when I said something like this one reminded, like when I saw it, I was like, this is a VHS skit. You know, I think there's sometimes people take like turns and they like do something that's a little bit, it feels very, very original and kind of stands out. This is kind of like the type of skit I expect when I watch VHS. Sure. So that was kind of my takeaway.
Yeah, you're not going to make a feature of this.
Yep.
So let's we've had this wacky idea. This is the time to do it.
Yeah. This is an idea.
Didn't overstay its welcome.
Yeah. It's an idea that wouldn't be put up with as a feature film, I don't think, just because of all the crazy imagery with all the, you know, with all the breast milk and all that kind of stuff. Like people just wouldn't put up with it, especially.
People hate women, you know? Come on. I get it.
People hate titty cream.
They just wouldn't take it seriously. If this was a feature film, this is up there with like the Pee Pee Poo Poo Man. You know, this is
yeah.
This is one of those type of films. But when it's included on the VHS anthology, it's just like, oh yeah, we're on a short little haunted house ride for, you know, 15, 20 minutes or whatever. It's fine.
Yep. The next one, you said the title earlier. I do not know what it is. Do you want to say it one more time?
Yeah. Ut supra sic infra. As above, so below.
Yeah. As above, so below. this is I forgot to look. It's Spanish or Portuguese?
Spanish.
I forget.
It's Spanish.
Spanish, yeah, it's Spanish.
Set in Mexico.
Is it in Mexico? Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it's Mexico or Brazil. Anyway, we start out with these crime scene photos of like all these murdered teens in Halloween costumes, and then there's like a weird phone. You're like, oh, okay, well, it could be anything, right? You get this interview with the survivor, which I think his name is Enoch. My phone kept autocorrecting to Eric, but it wasn't Eric. I think it's Enoch.
Enric.
Enric. And he's insisting that he killed all the his friends, but they're not really the authorities aren't really believing him because all their eyes were ripped out and like all their bones were crushed, and they just don't believe him. So they take him to the crime scene to kind of have him walk through what he says happens. So for the rest of this, we get these back and forth from the cops, detectives, whatever, walking him through the scene of the crime and how it happened and all this stuff. And then back to, the found footage of the kids on that night. So they're sneaking into this mansion. And the one friend knows about it because she was, worked a wedding here or something like that. Some famous medium lived there apparently. And they're walking through this big tunnel to get there. They eventually get to this like weird ritual room, which is this like, imagine the room where Willy Wonka does his fizzy lifting drinks, right? It's that room except for wood.
Yeah.
It's wooden.
In Mexico. You need to say in Mexico.
Yeah. Imagine if fizzy lifting drinks were made in the town from Midsommar. That's what this room looks like.
That's pretty good.
So Eric, or I'm sorry, I'm going to keep saying Eric because that's what my phone auto-corrected to. Also looks like a shorter version of the guy from the Verve Pipe. The Bittersweet Symphony guy, where he's just walking down the street. But imagine him, but not as lanky, not as tall. That's what he looks like. They go in and he translates what it says on the wall, which I think it's in, I don't know if it's in Latin or something like that. But he says, as above, so below. There's a phone in the center of the room and it randomly rings and it's not plugged in and spooky fun. And they all think Vicky, which is the friend that led them here, is fucking with them. But she's like, no, I didn't have anything to do with this. We should leave. Enoch answers and starts kind of freaking out, like kind of doing weird, hey, I'm possessed by a ghost or whatever type of things. And cut back. Now they're making him say it when they're revisiting the scene of the crime. It rings. The phone rings. A cop picks it up this time. But Enoch, again, kind of starts losing it and then just starts barfing up eyeballs.
Hell
and
yeah.
I did not expect that. Up to this point, I was like, okay, whatever. Creepy, fizzy lifting drink room, whatever. He starts barfing up eyeballs. And I'm not saying one or two eyeballs. Motherfucker barfs up about baker's dozen eyeballs.
All the eyeballs.
And I'm like, oh, goddamn. And then everyone starts floating up. And this is the fizzy lifting drink part of it. They all start floating up towards the ceiling. And then we're showing it in the flashback. And it's like the whole room kind of inverts.
Mm-hmm.
But also the assumption is that you're now in some sort of, I don't know, goddamn demon dimension or some shit. Because the whole kind of world
The upside
inverts.
down.
Yeah, they're in the upside down now.
For sure.
Because now the door that they walked into is on the ceiling, and Enoch walks out of that door and just starts popping out eyeballs left and right.
I thought this was such a cool scene. I'm not going to lie. I think it was really good at building tense because you're like, oh my God, I know he's coming. And I have this bitch in front of me screaming. And then all of a sudden, like, he walks over. But I just think it was cool the way they shot that.
It was really well shot. He's snagging eyeballs. Very, very effective. and then it just drops them. Right,
like,
whatever.
Oh, that's
spell,
how their bodies were crushed. I get it.
Yeah.
That's how they did
the spell, like, wears off or whatever. He releases them, and they all fall from the top of the fizzy lift and drink room down to the floor, and they get all fucked up. So yeah, that's it. It's super mysterious. They don't really explain what happened. It's just they explain how what happened to the victims, but not why or to what end or anything like that.
I feel like there.
So it was cool.
I don't know if you guys.
Very tight.
I don't know. Yeah, it was very tight, and I think like what it made me want to do was go watch the actual movie called As Above, So Below. So Below, As Above. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
is that the one where they're in the French catacombs or whatever? Yeah.
But
That's good.
It made me curious about like more backstory to this concept of like as above, so below, because I feel like there's just more that you probably, if you knew that going in of like certain lore, you'd be like, oh, this all makes sense. But otherwise you're just like, I'm watching, I understand that he is now possessed. I understand that we're like going to kind of an upside down world. It's all the same, but a different. Yeah. So I don't know. That's kind of where it left me.
Yeah, it does. It definitely leaves you wanting to know more about what is happening and why it's happening and why he's not only popping all them eyeballs, but he's gobbling them up too, which is kind of fun.
Jack and the
anyway,
Beanstalk, but with eyeballs.
We're just they were just sitting in his belly.
Yeah, that whole time they're just sitting in his belly, just a belly full of eyeballs.
I just imagine that they're like tainting him like when you take mushrooms and you're like, oh god, now I got a bellyache, I might need to go puke. But instead of mushrooms coming up, you have a bunch of eyeballs.
Well, here's the other funny part too, is he didn't chew them, he swallowed a whole.
Yeah, he just popped those in.
And it reminds me of a comedian, I don't know, some random comedian I saw on like, I don't know, social media somewhere, that was talking about the bit was when he was a kid, he used to watch kings in cartoons eat grapes whole. So he would constantly try to just go and eat grapes whole and choke. He's like, so like 3 times a week, my mom would come running into my room and have to do.
I'm not going to kink shame right now, but that sounds like a kink.
Yeah, he's like, as a kid, at 3 times a week, my mom would run into my room with me blue choking on a grape.
Excuse me.
Because I was pretending I was a cartoon king.
Yes, of course.
And they were like,
seen that maneuver before.
I'm gonna botch the punchline, but it's something like, he goes, my mom would be like, you got to chew your grapes, kid. You got to chew your grapes. And he would be like, that means nothing coming from the mouth of a harlequin or something. I forget.
My
harlequin
is grief.
Harlot, not harlequin.
Harlot.
Yeah. Harlot. Yeah. So the joke is he was sticking to the king bit, even though he almost died for the 20th time choking on grapes.
Sticking to the king bit is a new term for jacking off. Cranking
to the king bit.
Jesus.
Sticking to the king bit. It's actually just immediately thought of Donald Trump. I mean, he's sticking to the king bit pretty hard. That's actually,
I hope he eats a bunch of
while doing a Donald Trump
chokes.
impression. Yeah.
Oh boy. Here it comes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the best.
The grapes, they're very big.
All right. The next one is called Fun Size. This is probably my favorite.
Oh yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah, I think this is my favorite as well.
I mean, it's just adults trick or treating. Again, we've got a theme here. Adults trick or treating. They're like, I don't know. I gotta assume we're like mid-20s. Like, these aren't even teens. Like, these are full-on grown-ups, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, let's go get some candy, And so they are coming back from a Halloween party. They're in costume. They're drunk. They're like, let's go trick or treating.
I think what ages them, as well as the one character who just constantly calls his fiance, and I was like, God. This tells me that you are a child bride. Maybe in your 20s.
Yeah, this is now.
But if you say it one more time, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
First of all, how dare you? I got married in my 20s.
All right, child bride.
Late 20s. Late 20s.
I got married in my 20s as well, and look where I am now.
Also, my wife's older than me, so don't throw shade at me. I do not have a child bride. My wife's older than me. Anyway, yeah, so they go trick-or-treating. We get the two engaged dorks. So there's like the like hot girl kind of, she's in like a superhero outfit, whatever. Then there's like another guy who's like a dickhead, who's like her dickhead boyfriend, I think. And then there's the other couple that just got engaged. Yeah, and they're kind of dorks. At least it's a man woman. The man is a dork. He's like really leaning in hard on the like, yeah, he keeps calling her fiance and like won't shut up about how they just got engaged, which apparently happened that night.
He just sounds too clingy. Like I could feel the clinginess.
It's got BYU Mormon vibes for sure, right? It's got big, like we soaked it in the dorms and now we got to get married so we can fuck. So they have the camera, by the way, or they both have cameras.
They both have cameras, and they're dressed up as live streamers. Like their entire bit is they're dressed up as people who record a horror film. And I was trying to look at their costumes, and I couldn't figure out if it was a reference to something or not. I thought initially it was a reference to Deadstream, but
I thought it was Halloween Resurrection. But yeah, similar vibes. Because remember, they had all the crazy equipment that went the way around.
Yeah, they did. And I just, but like his costume doesn't match up with the character in Deadstream's costume. So there's another film out there that it does match up with, because it's a very specific. It feels very specific, the costuming.
Yeah, it does.
So I just don't know what the movie reference is, but maybe it's
or like Haunted Asylum even. Remember when they had those in Haunted? I forget what before the colon, the Japanese movie, something Haunted Asylum.
Oh yeah.
That we watched not that long ago.
Yeah. I don't think it's that either though. It just
probably
I don't know, just because it feels very particular to have him wear a beige vest over a blue shirt, and then she has that weird green stripy shirt. But I just don't know what the reference is.
Yeah, and they call out like we're the people with the cameras in a found footage horror movie. Like they call it out like that on the nose. In any case, we get right away the superhero girl talking to the recently engaged girl, saying like, why did you agree to marry him? Basically saying you were gonna break up with him. Why did you agree to this engagement?
Fucking weak.
And they didn't come right out and say it, but I think what they were trying to say was they had a relationship and that they were going to break up with their boyfriends, because she seems to have a romantic connection to her. I don't know. They didn't come right out and say it, but that's what I thought that they were hinting at, because she says like later on, she seems to have she seems to have a borderline romantic connection with the superhero woman. In any case,
I guess I didn't really get that sense, but I got more so as like, even just thinking about my friendships, where I'm like, if I see you in a relationship you don't want to be in, you just like keep the cycle going because you just like can't walk away. That's kind of like more so the vibe I was getting from it.
She said something, what really put me in that direction. She said something about you're not going to be who you are, or something like that. I'm paraphrasing, but it made it seem like she was being like she was closeted. Is what I took from
she's
that.
a closeted people pleaser.
No,
that's what I got. You know what I mean? Like,
perhaps both. Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't really become that pivotal to the plot, but they go up to this one house and there's a bowl of candy on a table and it says take one, or one per person. I think it says. And they start looking at the candy, and it seems to be like AI generated candy. And that's what I thought this was going to be, because it has a bunch of like nonsense words.
That's funny.
And it kind of looks like the color schemes would be that of like a Kit Kat, but it's a nonsensical word and it's the wrong shape, you know? So it felt like an AI candy to me. And I thought that's the direction the story was going to go. But it's not.
Same. Because like there's one that's like called Snippers, but it isn't even spelled correctly. Like I think there's, you know, an ampersand in the word Snippers. And then there's another, they're like, what the fuck is an and? You know, because
that's what I said. That's why I thought it was going to be this is AI candy. But one, he opens it up and it looks like a dick, and they spend a lot of time like, wait, maybe it's just a factory default. And she's like, no, look, it has the head on it. It's like it's, and then the guy takes a bite of it, and it's like
it's the cum for me, you know. That's it. That is it.
And also, like, I don't mean to jump ahead, guys, but I really took exception to this. A penis is not where the jizz is stored. It's not in the head of the penis. Now, this is coming from a podcast that does have a shirt on our TeePublic store that says "My balls are full of pee."
No, that's been down for a long time. We got.
Oh well, fuck that! Bring it back up. Bring it back. It's a classic.
I got to bring it under a different secret profile.
Okay, but
did you get caught?
Yeah, I just. Yeah,
Jim Davis said
because
no.
It did look like it was a Tasmanian devil, but with the coloring of Garfield. It was an hilarious shirt. I own it, and they can't come and take that shirt out of my closet. I'm just saying, if you were to bite into a severed penis, specifically the head of the penis, there is no circumstance where a bunch of jizz would come out.
I also want to, this is also jumping ahead in a sense, because I want to know how the penis we saw on the machine turns into one that has cummy candy inside.
Yeah. True.
Like,
I mean,
what
there's
happens?
a lot of mysteries here.
Yeah, there is definitely some mystery. Wow.
So this is the best part of the whole thing for me. They're all talking about this. He's got the jizz all over his face, and you know, it's you're like, where is this going? Got the AI candy, you got the dick. He just ate a chocolate covered dick. He of course doesn't think it's a dick. He just thought it was a candy that looked like a dick.
Yeah, they have those for bridal showers, or not bridal showers, bachelorette parties.
Couldn't be that. I worked at a comedy club. I've seen my fair share of dick shaped.
I've been to a Spencer's,
right? So I've been to a Spencer's. I've spent my allowance at a Spencer's. Anyway, this hand reaches up out of the candy bowl, big candy bowl. And we, as the audience, can see that there's no one under the table. So we were like, whoa, where's this come from? Something's weird. It grabs, because the kid, the dickhead pirate guy, tries to take another piece, grabs his hand, and it won't let go. And so then they start like panicking a little bit, and then it starts pulling him in, and it pulls him, his entire body in, and then the other guy grabs on him trying to save him. He gets pulled into the candy bowl. There's nothing under the table. And then as the two women are calling the police, the bowl just flies at them and basically eats them, right?
I believe that somehow I can.
And we get this point of view, the candy bowl attacking them, which is a great shot. They all wake up. They're in this big, basically the big facility under Wayne Manor, where he keeps all his Batmobile and
all of his
bat
bats
cycle
are down
and stuff.
there. They're just
all his bat
hanging
toys and bat things.
Can I ask one question before we jump too far into this section of the film? What I was thinking while watching this was, do you notice like on Instagram and all socials, they have like weird take one memes, like, oh, only take one like slurp of pho, or like take one per, like, do you guys have a favorite one that you've seen? I was trying to think of like more. I've seen like vegan ones where it's like just a bowl of broccoli too, but I don't know if you guys have a favorite one.
My personal favorite one is just a table with a pack of Marlboro Lights on it. And it just says, like, take one.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. That's a good one.
I think I enjoy the pierogi bucket one. That's mine. I like the pierogi bucket one.
Yeah.
Very, very Yinzer for sure.
Just a wet bucket of pierogies.
I kind of liked the floss slurp one. Like, just take one slurp. Yeah. That one made me happy.
I just think it's funny to give kids cigarettes. Something about that is funny to me. So they're down in the basement, or they're down in the Morgan Freeman basement area, whatever, and they find the bowl again, and it's just sitting there with a light over top of it. And they go up to it. The pirate guy gets slimed, and they all freak out because they're like, "Oh my god!" They just like covered him with something, but it's caramel.
Very Double Dare-ish.
Yeah. So it's like kind of harmless, but then this weird, like, generic mascot guy pops up at the other end of the hall, and he's got this like yellow suit on. He's got this big red giant round head, almost like like the Jack in the Box mascot a little bit. And he's got a crown on too. Mm-hmm. And he just starts chasing them. And then Austin, who's the pirate, they find him. He's stripped down to his skivvies, and he's tied to a conveyor belt, like a cartoon conveyor belt. And they're trying to get the key, whatever.
It is so cartoonish at this point.
Yeah, it is.
You're like, take the key. And everyone's like trying to touch everything else but the key the whole time.
Yeah. And it's like, I mean, this could be, up until this point, this could be like an Ed, and Eddie episode. Yeah. I felt like the whole time. Yeah. He gets fed into the machine, and you see the machine like dismembering him. Literally, at one point, cuts his dick off, and then cuts his dick into several pieces, including his balls. And, all his brains removed. You just see him get fed into this machine, and it just separates all his body parts out. Mm-hmm. And then you get this close up of his dick getting chopped and all the individual parts coming out the other side.
Also hearing those type of lines too.
Yeah. And his girlfriend's like, is like mourning his balls for some reason. The bad guy shows up, and now he's got like a little, like,
he's got the frowny.
Weird little.
He's got the frowny with him.
He's a fun size to his fun size.
He looks like the frowny. The Eden Park, yep. Right? Is that where the frowny comes from?
No, King's is the frowny because
King's is the frowny. That's right.
Because they were doing propaganda against the Smiley cookie.
Right. Yes. The King's frowny, and they go up and attack him with an axe, and they cut his hand off. Then just a bunch of candy shoots out, and then his hand grows back. Anyway, so they show all his body parts, including his dick and his brain and everything, going through this conveyor belt and getting like covered in caramel and then chocolate and peanuts and all this stuff. And it's wild, right? It's gross. It's wild. There's this quick moment that I laughed so hard for some reason. Haley, by the way, is the superhero girl. This is her boyfriend who's been chopped up, and they're all like, "We got to get out of here. We got to get out of here." And just for a brief moment, she decides that she's just going to end it all by getting onto the conveyor belt.
So weak.
And I'm like, maybe anything else but that. Don't do that.
I don't know what. Something about the acting in this short little section feels. It could have been improv, or it feels like maybe the specific actress was just insisting on doing those specific lines. It doesn't feel right at all. The way she's watching, her boyfriend get chopped up, and she's like narrating it, and it's like, we're seeing it. You don't have to tell us. And then,
I know.
And then the way she's just,
like, I think she might have been going rogue.
And then the way she's just like, I'm gonna go back on the. I can't take all this. I'm just gonna go back on the conveyor belt. It's like,
on the belt.
Why? of all the choices?
No, that's the thing. That's the thing you're scared of.
like you saw, like, even if you know that that's gonna kill you, that is a terrible way to elect to kill yourself.
Yeah. That's the thing that makes you want to die is and then you're just going to go, I'm just going to do it. It's not like you're, a kid getting a shot that you're just like, all right, get it over with.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing you're scared of. You don't have to. Nobody's forcing you, at least not yet. In any case,
she gets what she wants and more, though. So let's keep this ball rolling
in a confusing way. Instead, they start unwrapping all the candy so they could find the key to get out. The candy is all her boyfriend's, body parts. They eventually find his hand with the key in it. Then Haley gets home alone. She's just running in, and the Frowny just throws a bunch of micro machines on the ground.
Gumballs.
It's with the gumballs. They're gumballs, but yeah,
gumballs. Yeah,
yeah. And then she just gets she gets tripped and then gets taken, and they go back for her, but now she's got a tube up her ass, which is never. A good
man, bringing back boofing, different.
Boof,
short.
boof, boof.
Yeah, and then this is where we realize that they are. They're all juggalos. She's got a tube up her ass, and they're shooting a bunch of candy up her ass until her face explodes.
Mm-hmm.
And I do want to say, like, her eyes and like her forehead explode, which is not exactly how a digestive tract works, but
in this cartoonish world,
Ryan,
that made sense to me.
Ryan, it goes all the way up her butt, through her GI tract, up her esophagus, and then the force of the pressure is so much that it doesn't just come out her mouth, but it goes up into her nose and her nasal cavity.
Sure.
And that's what removes the front plate, and then the eyes just come with it.
But none come out her mouth. Not one.
Yeah, some of them come out her mouth. It is. She erupts into a fountain.
I think it just all.
That would have cost too much more than just taking off her face.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think even one comes out her mouth. I think her eyes and nose explode with a hole. It doesn't matter. Because she's not even dead. She's also still alive. And then she gets on the belt at this point. They use the key to open a door, but it's a dead end that just literally has like a like it's a Are You Afraid of the Dark bit, I think, from like Zebo the Clown. So they get into the HVAC system. They're gonna escape this way. This is just the couple at this point, right? Because Haley and Austin are dead. So this is just the fiancés. He keeps saying marriage stuff like the whole time. And they realize it's a conveyor belt and they're getting fed into a candy machine through the HVAC system. And just as he's about to get munched, he's like, tries to do the wedding right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just decides to do his vows right there. And it's like, will you take me as your husband or whatever? And first of all, not how weddings work. Second of all, even if he knows he's going to die, and this is not binding because again, this is not how weddings work.
Now, I kind of have a theory about this. Is you mentioned before how you said this is strong BYU vibes, and if you know your Mormon lore. Once you're married forever, even in the afterlife. And so he may have been trying to do a trick on a god and trick new American Jesus into making this woman his bride in the afterlife, knowing he was about to die.
Yeah. I mean, Mormon God is the easiest to trick. Yeah. There's so many loopholes and he's so easy to trick. But that would have to assume that he is like a, what's the word? I'm gonna use the word certified, and I know that's not the right word, but that would have to say that he ordained that he is like an ordained clergyman who has the authority to marry.
Maybe,
people. But even so, you don't marry yourself.
But I think, but maybe just like, I don't know, maybe it's a Mormon spell that it just counts. Maybe it just counts if they say it.
Maybe. But I do love
I like how you called it a spell
like,
as well.
Well, it's a spell. Yeah. Mormons do spells all the time. They baptize
spells.
people who are dead. to send them to their Mormon planets.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm very
They also
happy
don't
that
they
I'm
have
not
weddings
religious.
for dead people?
What?
Don't they have weddings for dead people?
I think
too?
they have weddings for dead people, but yeah, they definitely do. They perform rites on, grave sites to to bolster their numbers or whatever. And they're like, I'm going to send you to your planet. So Meg, watch out. Like, maybe consider hiring like BlackRock to protect your grave, so Mormons don't try to baptize you in death.
My partner is a funeral director. I am covered. He's going to make sure I'm all set to go.
Good.
Okay.
Or have your body cast into the sea like Osama bin Laden, and then they get to you.
It's going to be, you're not even going to know where I am.
Good. That's
in a non-serial killer way.
Yeah, good. That's a good, I don't know, afterlife prank for everybody. Try to find Meg's body.
Yeah. You can also do the Hunter Thompson route, get your ashes shot out of a cannon, or
only if it's somehow a Boothing cannon, or or it's being shot out of a butthole cannon, something really stupid, because I hate all of it.
All buttholes are
all buttholes are kind of cannons.
I was gonna say all cannons are kind of buttholes, but
I think we can honor Meg's wish of building a giant double dare butt that shoots her out into the sky.
Yes. Yes.
I like that. And even better, the thing that projects the corpse out of the butt is us standing on a high dive and jumping onto one of those big pillows that launches people. You know what I'm talking about? So we are 3, 2, 1, and we jump our big asses off of that and land and shoot Meg's corpse into the sea.
Yeah.
Okay, funerals are very expensive, and this is the type of money that I would actually love to have spent. And luckily, my partner is not in earshot right now, because he would not let me say that.
Yeah, I like that. All right, we'll get some paperwork written up after this.
Perfect.
So the best part here is that even as he's getting fed into the machine, she's like, "No, thank you."
Hard pass.
Which is funny. Yeah, which is funny.
This was a redemption moment. This is why, with the whole vibe between them, where it came together, I was like, this is her redemption moment. She is going to survive this.
This is my fight song.
I'm a survivor. Not gonna give up. And she gets out, and that's when I feel like this, oh my God, she's actually standing up. She's gonna get out of here. And then we hear fun size.
Yeah,
Love it.
She gets out. She's out in the parking lot, and there's some kids trick or treating, they get her finger with the ring on it, or somebody's finger with the ring on it.
Yeah, the kid's at the end.
Well, she gets grabbed up by the fun size guy, but then at the end, there's kids trick or treating with their mom. And they open up some candy, and they've got her finger with a ring on it, and then the bowl flies at the camera.
Yeah. Who also opens candy while they're out and about? I don't know. I was made to no.
Me, dude. You got to keep an intense sugar rush up the entire time you're trick or treating. Dude, I would eat at least 8,000 calories for the candy while I was trick or treating. I would be on the verge of dying at any moment. Okay, the next one is called Kid Print, which I have mixed feelings on. It was not my favorite, but I'm interested to see what you guys think.
Well, first,
I'll try to. Oh, go ahead.
No. I mean, you could go and introduce I was gonna say the lead character Tim had very Tim Robinson vibes.
I could see that. He was a very just kind of dorky, weird, middle-aged guy, owns an electronics store.
Yeah, if you put his hands on his hips a little bit more, I would have been like, oh my God, lean forward and just say everything that way. Yeah, I see it.
You sure about that? He is interviewing a bunch of kids of different ages, and you're like, oh, he's up to no good, right?
Yeah.
He's got this shitty electronics store that kind of rules because he's got it all decked out for Halloween. And I thought this was going in a totally different direction.
I'm curious where you thought, because I thought they were setting Tim up to be the murderer.
Well, that's definitely what they were trying to kind of show you. But I thought that the reveal was going to be totally different. But I'll explain. Okay. So parents they're taking their kids there to get these videos taken of them where they like take their height and they have like, you know, the video of them, blah, blah, blah. Because there has been so many child abductions in this town that they want the cops to have the most up-to-date, stats and images and stuff of these kids in case they go missing. So because there's so many abducted kids. And I'm just like, maybe there's other steps you can take to ensure your kids don't get abducted, but sure, whatever.
Yeah, it's an interesting take. Are they just trying to remember what they look like? It's kind of like, do they not want to forget who they are? I
sort of remember something like this. And it's not like a full grift, but I feel like I remember something like this in the 90s where they did do, they took photos of kids in case they went missing. And that was like for the whole like milk carton thing. And so like it was a way for photographers to just like drum up like cheap business off the fears of adults in the 80s and 90s. Because
I could see this doing a satanic panic situation.
Right. And that was the whole thing. Like they kind of lay that out with the mother who's talking to him. She's going on. And she's like, I watched the news. I know how much crime there is. And, but in this case, like their town is especially plagued with missing children. So
there's like 30 kids missing that month or something. I'm exaggerating, but like an alarming amount. So much so that you'd have to like, I mean, the FBI would be there. You know what I mean? Like this town would go under like martial law because like somebody is mass murdering children, mass abducting children. Anyway, the mom's trying to get this job like rushed before trick or treat that night, which I just find it also very funny. Like, don't let them go trick or treating if you're that concerned. But here's where I thought it was going to go. I thought the reveal was going to be that the parents were doing this because they wanted their kids to get abducted. Like the parents
or like
were
sacrificing them or something.
Yeah, or setting them up to get abducted because they didn't want their kids anymore, or their kids were assholes, or they were assholes. Whatever.
That's an interesting. What made you think that?
Just something the mom said made me think that the reveal was going to be that the parents are basically paying this person to stage a child abduction because they want rid of their kids.
Was it because she was asking for a rush job?
Yeah, like I thought it was like she was going to use Halloween as an example or an excuse.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
I need the whole I need this to happen now feels like a setup like that. That's suspicious of like a person like, oh, I need this to happen because I was watching a movie about like this guy trying to murder his wife. And he does a lot of that in the movie of like, can we speed this along? I need the poison now. I need gun now.
Can we get the insurance policy? I can fax you the papers right now.
Yeah. That kind of shit.
I guess I took that all as like just bad acting, like just the awkwardness. That's how it felt to me more so. I mean, overall, it wasn't like pervasive throughout this skit, but like, I thought that. Particularly because I was just thinking like, oh, they're setting us up for Tim, but like I don't think it's going to be him. Who is it going to be? And I don't know. I think it's actually kind of interesting reveal.
Yeah, they were setting up Tim, and then you're meeting all the other people, all the weirdos that work there, and they even warn you about Bruce. And they're like, oh, Bruce, he's weird. Don't Bruce doesn't like people around, whatever. And I'm like, okay, well, there's another red herring that is Bruce. Anyway, the guy then is like headed home with his family. He's acting real weird with his kids. So you're like, oh, he's, it's him. And, they want you to think it's either him or Bruce.
Because it's like they're feeling weird with like the kids. I thought the kids did a great job like in this, where they're like kind of like just I think their tone and like actually what they did, I was like, oh, I could see kids actually doing it. And I think this is also another lead that like, oh, maybe they're just weird with their dad and their dad's actually acting really weird.
Yeah. I the wife also was acting weird towards Tim too, and so she seemed like uncomfortable with it. I still thought it was going to be a reveal that the parents were getting rid of the kids. Anyway, the cops
like
end
a
up having
nudge,
little, like,
why are you doing this? We're getting rid of them. I could see that, but anyway,
I guess, yeah. They end up having this like little Halloween party for the kids, and whatever. Nothing really happens. He goes back to the store because, well, I guess what happens there is they're like, oh, another kid got abducted, and it was one of the kids that you made a tape on. And so can you go back and get the duplicate or whatever? And he goes back and he sees all the tapes are playing, and it's all the kids are like being tortured and murdered. And Tim is like watching them, but he's acting disturbed. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe it is Tim. But then Bruce pops in and attacks Tim, and you're like, oh wait, no, it's Bruce.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, all right, the guy you said was weird, oh, it's him. And then I was like, well, maybe the reveal was both of them working together or something. There's a bunch of creepy footage of him abducting and like torturing kids. Some of it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Like really over the top mean.
Yeah. I don't dislike this segment. I like it a lot, actually.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it feels like it feels like somebody showed up to a party and they didn't really get the theme. Because all the other segments to this, anthology are pretty lighthearted. With the exception of the one from Spain. That one's kind of mean, but it's not like, it doesn't like, rest in its meanness or anything. It's just kind of like it's a spooky tale that you tell, and then he threw up all the eyes and then he took their eyes.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it felt folklore to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an occult wackiness.
Yeah. And then everything else is pretty upbeat, in silly in ways. We have big giant adult babies. We have, a fun size chop up, and we have a scary, spooky haunted house with sheet ghosts. Like, it's all fun. This is mean approaching the level of where evil lurks. And
this is like where Poughkeepsie tapes all of a sudden. Like, what the fuck?
This is like Mannequin-esque to me. Honestly, this whole like if this were a full movie, I probably would be like, this is reminding me of Mannequin, like that sort of brutality of sorts.
Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, but for kids.
Yeah, he's skinning children, swapping their faces back and forth, and you're getting this extended scenes of this for a long time. Then Tim. So he's got Tim captive. He's also got these two other teenagers captive. And the teenagers think that Tim is the one doing this or is responsible or is in it with Bruce. So they turn on him and just like stab him and hammer him in the face a bunch. You're like, whoa, guys, this is a big conclusion to jump to. But then they get murdered off screen, weirdly enough. But Bruce is wearing people's faces. He's doing a lot of face wearing. Then they cut to the news and they think it was Tim. Yeah. The whole town thinks it was Tim, and Bruce is being interviewed, and Bruce is really rubbing it in. Yeah. And I feel like Bruce is kind of outing himself a little bit there too, because like he's being real over the top on the.
I feel like it's one of those caricatures that I just don't think. I think this is actually like they're like, no one believes it's Bruce. I think in essence, like he's one of like a perfect murderer, where I think in his murdering, he's charismatic as he is outside. Like he just is able to convince people to trust him. And then while we see him killing people, he's just very chilling, cheerful, excuse me. And it just like felt really chilling. So it's interesting. And I do want to correct myself. My comparison was not mannequin. It was maniac is what I was meant.
I knew
to.
Yeah,
Okay.
we knew it because he has all the mannequins with the skin on it. Yeah, I knew what you were.
All right.
Yeah, Mannequin is the 80s comedy.
Yes. I was like, this doesn't feel right. And I looked it up. I'm like, nope, was not that. Nope.
Yeah, so I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this one.
Yeah.
I thought that there was going to be a cooler reveal. Maybe that's why my expectations were kind of
Can I ask a question
thrown awry.
I think with these anthology films is like a big piece that makes them work or not work is like the order of the skit. And I'm curious if like this were earlier, if it would have had more of a pass for us. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
What's up? Who said no? You're like,
I
no.
said no, because it's too fucking like this is such a hard break on the momentum of this. Of the entire anthology. It's like I like the short film, and I think maybe if you removed it out of this anthology and expanded upon some things and made the ending better, it would be like a really good short film. But it is so tonally mean and different from everything else that it feels like they're jamming on the brakes. So if you put it at the beginning, if this was like the first short you saw after the first Diet Phantasma skit, it would be like jamming on the brakes and putting everybody in a real super fucking down mood. And then you have to follow it with, like you would get back into it because then you would just be following it with the babies and the fun size and all. You would get back into it, but it's just like,
well, that's
man,
where
that's
I'm
a real
thinking that
fucking
like
turn this off.
I'm imagining because I feel like the As Above, So Below kind of, and maybe this is just my takeaway, has a similar seriousness or just like just pause to it that I think if it were to come after Coochie Coochie Coo, I think Fun Size would have brought it back up and we might have said the same thing about that one.
Yeah.
Maybe. I think it would have been a little bit of, but it was shorter. So I think it just didn't overstay its welcome where maybe if this were shorter and or longer, things could have been fixed.
It's the extended amount of kid torture that makes this one like
it feels like there's like 5 minutes of it.
And the fact that like all the footage of like really young kids like crying, you don't see like violence happening to them, but it's like they're crying and screaming, and that's put next to like teenagers getting skinned and they're all meeting the same fate. And it's just like, oh God, that feels ugh. But what it does do is in the next one where a bunch of kids die in kind of funny ways, doesn't feel as bad. Doesn't feel as bad. You're like, that's fun.
True. It's almost like a palate cleanser. So I cannot stop thinking about Joe Spinell in Mannequin though now.
Maniac.
I want him
in
Mannequin. Joe Spinell starring in Mannequin.
I guess you're right. And I also, my other note, now that you mentioned the screaming, is like I had a thought throughout this film. I'm like, I don't know if I've noticed so many kids in general screaming or young people screaming. Like there's a lot of yelling in this one. So.
Yeah. Well, they only have a couple ways to express themselves: farting and screaming and picking their nose.
Fucking losers. Learn the alphabet.
Learn the language.
Kids are dumb as hell.
Or get out of our country.
Right. Use your words.
They took our gerbs. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Kids took our jobs. All right. Last one. Home Haunt, it's called. This one is really, really fun. This might, aside from Fun Size, this might be my favorite one too.
I think I liked it more the second time because I think it was situational. Like we were camping and I decided that we need to watch a spooky movie. So I'm going to bring my laptop and we're going to watch a spooky movie while we're watching a campfire. And then we went into the cabin. At this point, I was like very sleepy. So I don't think I got the full grasp, but like watching it a foot away, I was like, yeah, no, this is actually was really fun. I think the variety of characters we see is actually really interesting. So I'll stop interrupting.
It's a great I think it's a great send off one.
Mhm.
You know, it's a great fireworks finale.
Yeah.
I kind of like
say,
loved and hated the dad in a sense.
I loved him because I think he is just me. Like, and I think that's gonna
You
be
stealing
where I'm
records
at with my kids.
Fucking Jag.
No, the just like, you know, I think my kids are gonna be like 13, 14, 16, whatever. This kid's like, looks like he's like 20, and I'm gonna be like, come do Halloween stuff with me. And they're like, Dad, you suck. Shut up.
I don't know
like
if I
now,
see
they
that.
think
I
it's
think they're
awesome.
gonna love. Yeah, I'm saying I think they're gonna love it. You guys make it fun.
Well, so this one, the only thing that, well, I'll wait before we kind of talk a little bit more about that point. But we get a cool little animated sequence here of Dr. Mortis's House of Horrors, just like a animated title card. And we get introduced to this father and son.
I'm getting stepson vibes.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
He does at some point later when he grows up, starts calling him by his first name.
Maybe that was it. Like maybe he's like, I was trying to figure out how to connect, but anywho, keep going.
But also that was like a Bart Simpson thing for a minute.
Yeah.
Is like, remember when the Simpsons first came out and everybody was like, oh no, like that was the most outrageous thing.
He's so disrespectful.
To like so many people. He calls his dad by his first name. Like people were appalled by that. Anyway, yeah, so they go by Dr. Mortis, and then he's got his son is Igor, and they do this really fun, involved home haunt every year. The kid loves it, but then we fast forward quickly, and the kid's like, yeah, I don't know, late teens probably or something. The dad's still really into it, but the son is like way too cool for school, and the dad's trying to make it scarier and more fun. He's like really pressuring the kid to be in it. But the kid's also being a dick. Anyway, dad's trying to make it scarier so his son will get back into it. They find this like really sick looking vinyl Halloween album called Symphony of the Damned. And he's like, this is going to be our theme for this year. It's going to be around this. So they build this really great haunt around it. He's got this, I mean, he makes it like bigger and better. It's got this entryway with this big like monster like peering over top of it with his hands like curled over top of it. This is like a thing I would draw as a kid so frequently too, with the fingers over top.
Well, it's also kind of like the Goosebumps cover.
Oh, it does. Yeah. The welcome to oh gosh, which cover is this? It's the one about the haunted amusement park.
Yeah.
Yep.
Horrorland.
Welcome to Horrorland. I think it's it's a great one. Anyway, I love when they're all waiting in line for it, and they're in full costume. It's Halloween night. They're going to walk through the home haunt, and this dickhead neighbor Rich is so funny. He's just like, this fucking sucks. You're an idiot, Keith. Fuck you. Dude, being such a dick to him. And you're like, oh, he's 100% gonna get fucking killed.
Yeah. Rich is such a hater, and I don't like him, but I appreciate being such a hater because he says, oh, this fucking sucks. Keith always just makes the cheesiest shit. And they're like, well, why do you come? So I can tell him it's shit. Like that's the purest of hate. It's like I come to tell him it is shitty.
Yeah.
Well, and then they walk in and it's like, it's fucking unbelievable. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And he's still hating on it. But anyway, they play the record. It like bursts into flames. Everyone's scared. Like, oh, that wasn't part of the haunt, blah, blah, blah. They end up like going into another room. It opens up into this giant like movie scene, like movie set level, like graveyard. And Rich is like, Keith, this is fucking dumb. And I'm like, dude, this looks awesome. Yeah. But then like these ghosts, like, sheet ghosts pop up. And you're like, oh, sheet. Okay, whatever. But it's a home haunt, right? But then the sheet goats start just noping everybody. Like they just come down, which is one of the coolest kills I've seen in a while. Imagine just a sheet ghost, right? A ghost costume with 2 eye holes cut out, right? But imagine it flying up in the air, coming down on top of somebody's head, and then just like twisting their body, like wringing it out like it's a sham wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then all the blood shoots out of the eyes and mouth part in such a great visual.
All over his wife, yeah.
Shoots out of the holes that are cut into it. And I'm like, that is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
I called this room Ghosts in the Garden because I thought it was really cool that we still kind of got some themes. So this was Ghosts in the Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the cooler kills I've seen in a movie in a long time. Then all hell breaks loose. They're running around, the doors locked. They run into the next room. Now there's all these like ghouls that like come to life and just start like ripping kids apart and shit, just munching on them. We go into a torture chamber. One of the girls
is pretty badass.
She's getting tortured. Then there's this one scene where they're like in this hallway and they're like, oh my God, what's happening? You know, they're kind of coming to terms with like, holy shit, we don't know where we are at, why this is happening. It must have had something to do with the record. The family starts kind of banding together a little bit. Like the mom saves the dad from like the torture guy, fucking lops his head off and stuff. Then they go into this like little witches like hut kind of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when shit gets super real because the witch goes straight wet bandits on this little girl and just munches her fingers off. And then she like melts another little girl in like a
puts her in the dip,
tub, like in her
witch's
in her
brew.
yeah, puts her in the dip.
Brew.
Does.
Okay.
Yeah.
She puts her in the straight up dip like Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, so again, they band together, saving each other, whatever. But the witch escapes, and somehow the witch gets the camera, which the son has, and we see the witch blast out of her little hut, out of the home haunt onto the street, and she's got the camera, like I don't know, on her in some capacity. She's on her broom. She does a drive-by decapitation of like a child trick-or-treating, goes straight up Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, rips her head off with the spine attached, just cackling, doing witch stuff, then runs up, grabs another little kid who's dressed like a mummy, just starts ripping his guts out.
She spears him with the front of her broom.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, she
it
starts
somehow
ripping his
feels
guts
like
out.
she took over the short,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
she definitely did.
She took the camera.
She's
She's
got the
having
camera.
fun now.
Yeah, she's
Like,
out
not
there having
literally just because she has a camera, but I was like, there's a lot of time spent on her.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, she's the most powerful
and that-
in comparison of all the monsters. She's the most powerful. She's a witch. Torture guy, he got his head cut off.
That's right.
Zombies are just whatever zombies. And then, ghosts, fine. They're powerful, but I don't know. They're not as smart as the witch.
They lack direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just kind of going around doing their own thing. She is like, full on malevolent. She runs out, starts fucking just murdering kids left and right. And then eventually the camera falls down to the ground and it's pointed back towards the home haunt. And the monster that's on the front of it breaks through and starts, coming to life and is essentially going to, run rough shot over the town. We have to assume. And that goes right into the credits. So real fucking strong finish.
Which shout out to Chat Pile for the credit song.
Hell
Holy
yeah.
shit. The moment I heard it, I was like, Connor, was that Chat Pile? He backed it up and he's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I looked it up. I'm not familiar with the band, but I like the song so much that I was like, oh, fucking look up who does that song.
They're awesome.
The just okay for everybody else at home now that we're just because I had Chat Pile listed in my notes as well. The song is called grimace_smoking_weed.jpg. So
it's pretty good, yeah.
it's a 9-minute mental breakdown from a guy who is high trying to kill himself, but Grimace is in his room interrupting him. So if you're
when
into
I saw them
noise
live,
rock,
when I saw them live, it was literally like the lead singer pacing back and forth on the stage. It was just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Like it felt like a breakdown. You're just like, oh my God, it was amazing.
it's all anxiety. Did you see them open for Lingua Ignota? Because
No,
I
saw
know
them
they
when
are
I
open
went
for
to
her.
Roadburn.
Okay. I knew they opened for her for, I didn't know if you saw them
Here?
at the same
Like,
time.
or in Pittsburgh when they did?
I don't know. I didn't go to that show, but I just know
I
they
went to
opened
that
for
one, but I
her.
don't recall them opening for her.
Okay.
But yeah, no, this was like 2023 in fucking Netherlands.
Sick.
Yeah. So, yeah, finish is strong. We do during the credits, we get a quick, the commercial for Diet Phantasma, which is fun. And, yeah, I mean, I have only done single watches on a lot of the VHS, versions that have come out in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
So I do need to go back and do a rewatch on some of these, but man, I feel like this one's right up there.
Yeah, when I was doing my notes, I was like, I listed because I was just curious because I remember the one that the gentleman who did Deadstream. I was like, I remember really enjoying that one. But then I also remember 85 was also pretty solid too. But I do think it'd be cool to go back and rewatch them.
Yeah.
85 was great. 94 was great. There was another one within the last few years that I'm forgetting.
I mean, last year's Beyond was pretty good.
Oh, Beyond. Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah. I always kind of say it to myself and I think about it, but I never act on it. But I want to kind of, because I also find myself not rewatching the VHSs a lot because there are always a couple like stinkers that I'm just like, I don't want to sit through those, so I don't want to go back.
Yeah.
I always just want to cut up the best ones and put them into their own kind of movie that I can watch on my own. I always say that to myself, but then I never do it.
VHS supercut.
Yeah.
Oh, sidebar. I wanted to mention because again, I was thinking about Deadstream today and how much I loved it, and so I just looked into what they're doing. They're going to be doing an Amityville type movie. Yeah, in the universe, obviously, like they're not like actually about the story, but I am curious about it.
Yeah, I've recently went through, and I haven't watched it yet, but I stumbled upon, laying in bed trying to go to sleep, a really deranged letterboxed list of Amityville movies. And there's some ones on there I do need to check out. I mean, we had Premium Steve on, what was that, last year, 2 years ago, when he did Amityville Christmas Vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And there is holy shit. And he won for Best Amityville on the
Fangoria Awards.
Fangoria Awards.
That's funny.
And I wonder if there's some other ones where I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this can't even, there's no way this could even qualifies as a movie.
Yeah. There's some that are just like obscene in their just usage of the name Amityville. To capitalize on a franchise that really hasn't been active since the early 2010s when they had the Ryan Reynolds remake.
And I'll be honest with you, the original not that great either.
Yeah, the original
never.
I'm just curious why it's just persisted, because I think the only thing it has going is like name recognition, but I still don't think people like get it.
Yeah.
No, I would love to delve into what is there might be a very simple answer I'm not aware of, but yeah, what is special about Amity?
I think it's possible that the answer is simply because it can't be trademarked because it's the name of a town.
Because it's a place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. It might be that simple. Whereas, you can't call something Nightmare on Elm Street or whatever,
right.
You know what I mean? Because these are fictional made up places, but Amityville, New York is a real place, and therefore no one can come after you for it. Anyway, but yeah, now it's evolved into its own wacky fucking subgenre of nonsensical, like super low budget.
Oh man,
budget
that
movies.
could be in another series for your Patreon people.
Oh, just all the worst Amity movies of all time.
Amityville is forever. Oh my god.
Amityville. Oh. Yikes, Meg.
Gosh.
That might be my best idea I have right now. Because my other idea was just puppies, just puppy movies.
But you don't actually look at the puppy score if they pass away or not.
I love the idea of at the end of the puppy movie going and confirming that all the puppies are dead now. Oh, this movie is from 2013 and all these puppies
are probably dead.
Oh no, this movie's from 2002. Yeah, 100% of these puppies are underground.
You have some chihuahua just hanging on by a thread.
It could be. Yeah, some of them do. Well, just gnarly as hell.
Oh my gosh.
All right. That's it.
Yep.
That is VHS Halloween, guys. Really fun movie. I watched it on Shudder. I think we all watched it on Shudder, probably,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a Shudder exclusive, I believe. It's a Shudder exclusive. So that is a good place to watch it. Okay, guys, don't forget, next week, join us as we have Big Ween Ben on once again. And we are going to talk about his punishment movie that he is inflicting on Steven and I. We're going to talk about Blades from, I don't remember what year. I think it was
83, 82.
I was going to say 87. I was going to say.
Sure,
I might be wrong.
whatever.
One of those.
Whatever.
All
Who
right.
cares?
Anything else before we wrap this son of a bitch up?
I had one note that I skipped over, but back in Fun Size, there's a moment where the douchebag pirate is looking into a bowl on the other side of the other world, and he's looking to escape, and he's under a great big spotlight. And then out of nowhere, he gets a whole bunch of caramel dumped on him. My note was simply, you can't do that on VHS.
Nickelodeon joke.
Hell yeah.
We got him.
Hell yeah, brother.
All right, Meg, thanks again for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
Don't be a stranger, you old.
Maybe I'll
you
see you
old
guys
horse
next
girl,
week.
you.
I'll be in Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
Hey.
Woo!
Weirdly enough, I randomly saw right after we recorded. When did we record the last Showdown episode? And then I was at Golden Age drinking some of the Oktoberfest beer, and
See my
I was sitting at the table
bestie?
with some friends. Yeah, and I saw all of a sudden Bigfoot Ben comes walking by, and I just like shoved him randomly, like in the back, not hard, but just was like gave him a shove, and he turned around like, "Who the hell is touching me?" He was like, "What are you doing?"
That's great.
And then we embraced for an extended amount of time.
Hell yeah.
All right. For the Halloween is Forever crew, I'm Brian.
And I'm
Megan.
Steve.
No, I'm
yeah.
Meg.
Oh,
I
yeah.
go second.
I forgot you go second. Forgot you go second when you're here.
All right, you guys fucked it up. Bye.
Bye.
Cancel the episode.
Canceled.